Like the rest of the country, Boston has a very large racial gap in wealth. One response is an effort to help narrow the gap, especially for businesses owned by people of color or immigrants. For the third year in a row, Lawyers for Civil Rights and its corporate sponsors are offering free legal consultations and technical support. The event, called BizGrow, takes place tomorrow afternoon at Suffolk Law School. To tell us about the event is our guest from Lawyers for Civil Rights, the director of the Economic Justice Project, Priya Lane. Thank you very much for being with us, Priya.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Priya, you're one person who's been working on this for a number of years. What got this all started?
We have been seeing a gap in legal resources for minority and immigrant-owned businesses for years, which is why we have this project at Lawyers for Civil Rights. And we decided, let's take all the services we have. We do free representations and workshops, both business and legal, for those businesses, and let's put them all in one day. And so BizGrow was born. This is the third year, and we run 20 plus workshops upstairs on both business topics like business planning, business succession planning, and also legal topics like contracts and intellectual property, all upstairs. And then we have a legal clinic where 100 plus lawyers are going to be downstairs from all of the big law firms in the city: Wilmer Hale, Latham and Watkins, Nixon, and businesses can come and meet with them and talk about any other small business legal issues.
Now, when you talk about legal advice for businesses, it sounds almost inevitably like established businesses, but what about people just getting started?
It's perfect if you're just getting started. Most of our clients first come to us because they had a business idea. A lot of our clients are minorities, women, immigrants who have been alienated from their own jobs and, think it's ready to start their own business and want to get out there, but that's it. And so we work with them through the life of their business. And so this event is perfect for them. They can come, they can learn about how to form an entity, what contracts they should have in place in the beginning, and sort of kickstart and accelerate their business.
What's the most common question these business people have?
Often the questions we get are really relatively simple for attorneys who've been working in the field, and it's just about sort of bridging the opportunity gap. A lot of these businesses don't have a lot of experience in entrepreneurial culture, especially in this country, and so working with these attorneys, it'll be how to form an entity, how do I protect myself, how do I make sure that the money I use to pay for my child's food and that roof over their head is safe while I start on this business venture. What contracts do I need to have in place? How can I run a business as an immigrant and be safe and make sure everything is in order?
I imagine with a lot of immigrant businesses, and it's been going on a long time with many different people, is that cash-based, off the books, they grow and then all of a sudden they need to do things differently. What about that?
It's great. We work with a lot of businesses like that who, have been working one way for years, and it's time to scale up. It's time to maybe, sort out those things, and it's great to see them come in, work with us, see that they can change things a little bit and really thrive and grow their business. And so we love having businesses like that come in.
This is BNN News. We're talking with Priya Lane from Lawyers for Civil Rights. Priya, another thing, of course, businesses have to do sometimes is operate with their customers online. Do you help with that?
Yeah, so we have a workshop tomorrow at BizGrow on doing business online. A lot of the businesses that we're working with move, inevitably to online-based businesses. We work with a lot of food businesses who are selling online, who are getting catering orders online. And there's a lot of legal issues with shipping things over state lines or just that language on your website is a contract, stuff like that. You can come in, talk to an attorney, get that sorted out, and be selling tomorrow.
Now, one thing that I know almost nothing about, but which you're going to be talking about to people tomorrow, is food labeling. Why is that important?
Well, every packaged food that we buy in the store has food labels on it, and we look at it and look at the calories and all that, and it is a very, very highly regulated field. We partner with Goodwin, a large law firm in Seaport, and they are experts in food labeling, and they actually fly someone up from New York to teach a workshop tomorrow to small food businesses all about how to form that label.
Now, another category which I think is vitally important, that is health insurance for employees. Maybe some small businesses are so small they don't have to do anything maybe, but I guess some of them, they have to catch up.
Yeah, so I mean, so we partner with Tufts Health, and they work with us and are great partners and are a sponsor of the event tomorrow. And they come in and talk to small businesses about options that maybe the small business doesn't have to necessarily pay for the health insurance, but can offer it. Offer some plans through their network. And also some of those businesses might be at the stage where they do need to offer some sort of services. And so working with organizations like Tufts and getting that in order in the beginning is really useful.
What about access to capital for businesses?
Yeah, so all of the businesses I work with need capital. All the businesses in the city, unless you're independently wealthy, are going to run into that issue probably sooner rather than later. And so we have a lot of different workshops tomorrow on it. So we have a legal access to capital, talking, Goodwin is teaching about how, debt funding versus equity funding, the legal side. And then we have two panels, one on alternative lenders. So that's organizations like Axion, which is a alternative lender that will lend to businesses that are not quite ready for a bank. And then also we have some banks. We have Eastern Bank and Santander, which are amazing partners of ours who will come talk about their small business lending.
One more category, contracts with public agencies. It's important, but I also understand a lot of businesses, they have trouble, with the paperwork at least, if nothing else.
Yeah, the process for becoming a certified woman and minority-owned business in the city of Boston and the state of Massachusetts can be really onerous, and it can be something that these businesses don't have the ability or time to do, and especially when they don't really see a huge payoff from it. If there's no program in place that really benefits getting the certification, it doesn't really make as much sense for them.
Do you know of any business that's gone to one of these events in past years who has really come away from it with something really important?
Yeah, so a lot of businesses, I would say. The first year, Sweet Tea's Bakery came to BizGrow. Teresa Maynard took our Food Biz 101 class that we do with Commonwealth Kitchen, came to BizGrow, really launched her cupcake business. And that was, 2 years ago. And now in the third year, she is actually sitting on one of the panel as a established business talking to the other entrepreneurs about scaling, because she got a huge Whole Foods contract last year, and her business has really taken off. So just in that short period of time after launching, she has really made big strides in her business.
I'm going to ask you to unpack that phrase, scaling. What does that mean?
Yeah, so she knew how to make 10 cupcakes, right? Or in this case 10 pies, 10 mini pies, but Whole Foods came to her and said, okay, we want you to supply all the mini pies from Maine to Connecticut, which is a lot of pies. And so, she had to really, think about the funding structure. How do I get the money in to hire someone, to get enough capital in to make all those pies, the logistics of shipping it. You don't get paid for food contracts often until after the contract's over. So if I don't get paid till January, how am I going to start making all those pies in November? So there's a lot of both legal and business things that these businesses need to think about going into that.
Finally get back to some details here. This is going to happen tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock?
1 to 6 p.m. Come anytime. You can meet with an attorney. You can attend 20 plus amazing workshops, and signups are still open. You can find us on Eventbrite.
And the exact location in Suffolk?
Suffolk Law School, 120 Tremont Street.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Priya Lane from Lawyers for Civil Rights. In a moment, we'll hear about plans for outdoor theater and a social cafe in Jamaica Plain's Latin Quarter.